Joining me now is Tyron Breytenbach, SVP of Aris Mining. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Now, since you did this deal with GCM, this merger, you've become a mid-tier company. You've got 2 producing mines, 2 in development, lots going on, lots of substantial resources as well. So can you give us a sort of a broad strokes, a snapshot of the company?
Sure. So we're moving pretty quickly. We closed this merger with GCM in September. I called it a merger, but it was really a business combination. GCM acquired Aris, but we were the surviving management team. So we have a Latin American focus. We will produce about 250,000 ounces this year, based on the midpoint of our guidance. We'll do that at about $1,100 an ounce all in. So we're already, I think, a junior to intermediate producer. And we have a large resource base, so over 25 million ounces in all categories. So we got a nice growth profile ahead of us, good funding, and I think most of our board would be very recognizable to the market. So I think we're ready to deliver a new growthy mid-tier to the space.
Right, and we'll reveal some of those names on your board in just a moment. So you came out with 22 production numbers, 23 guidance.
Yep.
Some of the highlights included at Marmato, reserves increased by 57%. You've also got this joint venture now at Norte. So update us on those.
So at Marmato, we've increased the mine life to 20 years via boosting the reserves. And I would say that assets like Marmato are rare in the space. All 4 of our assets could actually do 200,000 ounces a year. Projects like that are rare, and we've got 4 of them. So we have a long runway. We don't have to take geologic risk. I would say we're very proud of the 3 deals we've done to date. The company's been around for about 2 years, and we've already done the Coldest transaction, which gave us control of Marmato. We negotiated a joint venture with Norte, which I think is one of the last great undeveloped projects in the space. And then we merged with GCM, which gave us improved liquidity, better balance sheet, and just more relevance in the space. So we're moving quickly. And if you think about our board and some of the companies we've been involved with, they know this buy and build strategy. And we're on the same trajectory as some of our predecessor companies like Endeavor.
You said the goal for production this year is about 500,000 ounces. It could get as high as 270 or so, possibly. You've also got this artisanal and small-scale miner project, which is interesting. It makes up about 15% of your production. So how important is that to be involved in the community like that? And maybe describe the program for us.
It's critical in Colombia. So Colombia is blessed with fantastic geology. They have a lot of high-grade gold deposits. Artisanal mining is a part of their tradition. At Segovia, it's been in production one way or another for 100 years. So you can't just move into town, guns blazing. You have to learn to work with the artisanal. So we've partnered up with them. We provide geological support. We figured out a contract system. We now have contracts with 60 artisanal groups that covers over 3,000 individuals who now have bank accounts. They're paying taxes. We monitor the safety standards, and of course we process the ore and contain the effluent. So it's a win for the environment, it's a win for the community, it's a win for our shareholders, and it's key to our social license. And I think our predecessors, GCM, really set the benchmark for this type of artisanal effort at Segovia, and we're going to hopefully transport that elsewhere in Colombia as we do more permitting at places like Marmato and Norte.
Great. So you're planning an economic assessment at Norte, and you want to develop this project sustainably. And I'll let you define what that is and what that means, but do you think the way you're doing things, is this sort of the prototype for the way gold companies should be doing things in the future?
Yeah, I think regulations are only going to become stricter. I think the days of mining big, low-grade, marginal ore deposits just for the sake of mining them are behind us. We're lucky that Norte has very high margin. All-in sustaining costs are sub $500 an ounce, which gives us a lot of room to do things to protect the environment. So we're going to mine underground. We're going to crush the rock underground. We're going to transport it underground. So all of the dust, noise, and vibration will be contained. If you flew over the project while we were in production, you'd barely know that there's a mine in place. So I think that's key to our social license. And then there is a growing artisanal informal presence in Norte that has not been formalized, that does lead to environmental consequences. So we can take this recipe that we've developed at Segovia and transport some of those standards and contracts to Norte and help extract this deposit in a healthier, more environmentally friendly way, but also in an economically productive way.
Now, from a cash perspective, Tyron, you've got nearly $600 million in cash, funding as well for projects. And let's get to this board. Ian Telford, David Garofalo, we saw him yesterday. You've got Peter Barone. So lots of big names, lots of experience there. As you put that all together, what's the overall message to investors?
The message to investors is we believe there's a shortage of growth-focused gold companies. We believe gold stocks are growth stocks. We believe that we can grow without taking geological risk. Again, we have 25 million ounces in all categories. We have a board that can raise capital, and we have a board that can do deals. They have tentacles all over the space. We can call senior companies, they'll pick up the phone for us, and it looks like gold is turning, and we're positioned with a great resource, a great balance sheet. And I would also flag that we own our own stock. So the board and management own 6% of the companies, 6% of our shares outstanding, which is rare in the space. So I think it's an interesting asymmetric opportunity for the generalist investor who doesn't want to take a lot of technical risk.
Well, thanks for the update today.
Appreciate the time.
Good stuff. We'll see you again. Tyron Breytenbach, he's the Senior VP at Aris Mining.